Ms. Burns, I understand your concern about expanding the testing area, but we don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know what the results are. I'm going to support the proposal as it is, and once we get results, then we can determine expanding that range. And also, it will probably have to go to bid, so we will have a dollar amount that it would cost. And that's important because this is not in the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion?
Madam Chair.
Councilwoman in the 5th Ward.
Well, I mean, I don't see a reason why we can't expand it. What we're asking for is not in the budget. So if we're gonna do something as far as the budget, then we need to include the whole parameter of everything, that whole west side. I mean, if we're gonna do something, let's do it all. And that's my say on it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the first round of discussion? Seeing as how there's no one else in the first round of discussion, I will take some time. So there are a couple of things here, right? Two things are true at once. We do not know exactly who's going to do the testing or how much the testing is going to cost, but also I feel like we're doing that fine line of walking of what happened to us, and when I mean us, I mean everybody in the city as a whole in 2015 and 14 when we were telling other people, hey, there's a problem, and no one was listening. And so what I don't want us to do is to do the same thing that happened 10, 11 years ago. And the fact that we had a problem, it was said time and time again that we have a problem and no one listened. I think that when you look at the fact that filters are turning black, it could be mold, it could be manganese, it could be quite a few things. And then you mix that with the fact that you had people in that area who had cancer, several different people. So now you have a little cluster happening there of cancer. And so while it is not ideal to make a decision without a full number, it is also not ideal to tell someone, I don't know that I can care about what's happening in your life right now because I don't have a number of what that'll cost me to care. So I want us to be careful with the words that we're using when we start talking about water and lives. Like, we have to be really careful with that.
You know, on Wednesday, I said I wasn't going to support this because it was directed and discussed about a specific individual. The more I thought about this and the more I thought about another resolution where we were designating a specific month as a special month, I'm not going to vote for any of these anymore. I'm going to blanket no vote for any special months recognition. I don't care what they're for. I looked it up today. There are minimum 7 different things we could declare this month for. 7. And I'm just not going to do it anymore. So I am voting no on this because of that, not necessarily the other.
I'm in fully support of this resolution. I think it's you know, domestic violence is a issue in every community, and it certainly hasn't skipped over ours. I'm just trying to figure out, we have a council member who said, we don't have the money to test water because it's not in the budget, and then they separate domestic violence resolutions, say they're not going to vote in it. Like, I'm trying to figure out who is on this council and why people get votes, because you're going to say that we don't have money to test water after a water crisis, and then you're going to sit here and separate and say, no, I'm not going to support Domestic Violence Awareness Month? I'm baffled today at this meeting. I am absolutely baffled on what people support and what they don't support. I'm going to yield because I'm going to say something that is inappropriate, so I'm going to yield. Thank you.
Councilwoman Priestley, I definitely understand where you're coming from. We have brought forth a lot of, well, I'll say quite a few resolutions that commemorate months, you know, but there's a method to the madness. Like, for example, we have the Park and Rec Month, which we declared in July. and that was near and dear to me and Councilman Murphy. But what we learned to do was, we just don't commemorate it with words, we commemorate it with action. So Councilmember Murphy, he had a musical celebration in Dewey Park in commemoration of this. In July, I support people like Mr. Larry White, who put together a fabulous 4th of July in the park every single July. So that's how we commemorated July for Parks and Rec Month. For African American History Month, what do? We just didn't bring it to the floor. We have a program where we have youth write essays, and they be awarded money for their efforts talking about their culture, commemorating African American History Month. Then for the Women's History Month, you have been at every single one, giving out awards. That Women's Empowerment Brunch, that was spearheaded and fueled off of making March officially Women's History Month. And also September, we're talking about Fire Safety Month. What do we do for that month? We do a big smoke detector push. In addition to, we go out and we have schools come in and we teach them fire safety. So what's the moral of my story? Is that whenever we have a special month, we commemorate it with something and not just political rhetoric.